You're shopping for a dependable Samsung phone, and you have landed on two options at the same price point. The Galaxy A17 5G is newer, released in 2025, running the latest software, and marketed with all the language of a modern upgrade. The Galaxy A35 5G is a year older, but it has a track record, a strong reputation among actual users, and some hardware credentials that make you wonder if newer automatically means better. When a phone slows down on you when you tap something and wait or switch apps and watch it reload, that is almost always a RAM problem. The A17 comes with 4 GB of RAM paired with a 2.4 GHz processor. On paper, that handles daily tasks. In practice, some users have reported moments where the interface stops responding, particularly when jumping between apps or running anything in the background. 4 GB is workable, but it is the lower end of what you want in a phone you plan to use for several years. The A35 carries 6 GB of RAM and runs on the Exynos 1380, a 5nm octa-core chip with a Mali G68 MP5 GPU. That combination does not just look better on paper, it performs better in use. App switching is snappier, the interface holds its composure under load, and heavier tasks like mobile gaming or running navigation alongside streaming do not push the phone to its limit. The A35 has more headroom and you feel it. Edge, Galaxy A35. Both phones use Super AMOLED panels, which means vivid colors, deep blacks, and solid outdoor visibility. No complaints from either device on the core display quality. AMOLED at this price tier looks genuinely good. The A17 has a slightly larger 6.7-inch screen compared to the A35's 6.6-inch panel. If screen size matters to you, the A17 has a small advantage there. But the A35 runs at a 120Hz adaptive refresh rate. The A17 does not, it runs at standard 60Hz. Once you have used a phone with 120Hz, the difference in how smooth everyday scrolling and navigation feels is hard to unsee. The A35's display is not just technically superior on refresh rate, it is noticeably better to use. The A17 screen resolution listing of 3840 by 2160 appears to reflect a marketing discrepancy, as its listed FHD Plus panel does not natively support 4K output. The A35's 1080 by 2340 FHD Plus resolution is accurate and sharp for its screen size. In real-world use, both screens look clear, but the A35's 120Hz refresh rate makes the moment-to-moment experience feel more premium. Edge, Galaxy A35. The A17 uses a triple-lens rear camera system built around versatility, wide, standard, and close-up coverage for everyday shooting scenarios. It does the job for family photos, casual outdoor shots, and social media content. The images come out clean and well-processed, and the AI-assisted shooting helps newer users get consistent results. The A35 also runs a triple-lens system, but with a 50-megapixel f/1.8 main sensor, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide at f/2.2, and a 5-megapixel macro lens, along with a 13-megapixel front camera. The 50-megapixel sensor captures significantly more detail, handles mixed lighting conditions with more grace, and performs noticeably better in lower light. Customers who use the A35 specifically call out its low-light camera performance as a strength. The A35 also shoots 4K video, which the A17 does not match at the same level. If photography matters to you not just occasionally but as a reason you reach for your phone, the A35 is the stronger tool. Edge, Galaxy A35. Both phones use a 5000 mAh battery, and both are built for all-day use without anxiety. The A35 is rated for around 10 hours of active screen on time, which translates to a full day of real use for most people. The A17 performs similarly in general endurance terms. The A17 markets super fast charging as a headline feature, which is a genuine advantage when you need to top up in a hurry. The A35 supports fast charging as well, though at a slightly more modest rate. For most daily routines, charging overnight or during a work break, neither phone leaves you waiting long. The edge in raw charging speed goes to the A17, but it is a narrow one in everyday practice. Edge, A17, slight advantage on charging speed. Both phones ship with 128 GB of internal storage, and both support microSD expansion. The A17 advertises up to 2 TB of expandable storage, which is an unusually generous ceiling and genuinely useful if you carry a lot of media locally. The A35 also supports microSD expansion, though with a more standard ceiling. At the base level, these two phones are equal on storage. If you plan to load up a large microSD card and store everything on device, the A17's higher expansion ceiling gives it a technical edge. For most people who stream rather than store, 128 GB plus a reasonable microSD card is plenty on either device. Edge, A17, on maximum expandable storage ceiling. This is where the comparison gets interesting, and where the A17 makes its strongest argument on paper. The A17 runs Android 15 with One UI 8.0 and is committed to 6 years of OS updates and 6 years of security patches. That is an exceptional software support window for a phone at this price, and it means the A17 is designed to stay current for a long time. The A35 launched on Android 14 with One UI 6.1 and is expected to receive 4 major OS updates, bringing it to Android 18 before support ends. That is still a solid software life. Most people upgrade their phone before 4 major OS versions, but the A17's 6-year commitment is genuinely better on paper. Both phones include Circle to search with Google, Samsung Wallet, and Samsung TV Plus with access to over 350 free live TV channels. The A17's longer update commitment is a real advantage for buyers who plan to keep their phone as long as possible. Edge, A17 on software longevity. The A17 carries an IP54 rating, which protects against splashes and light dust exposure. It uses Gorilla Glass Victus on the front and a glass fiber reinforced polymer back, a construction combination that holds up to drops and resists daily wear well. The Gorilla Glass Victus is a meaningful addition and one of the stronger front glass options available at this price. The A35 also carries an IP67 rating, and this is where it outpaces the A17 on durability in a meaningful way. IP67 means fully dustproof and waterproof to 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. That is a significant step up from IP54. If you spend time near water, work outdoors, or just want a phone that handles the unexpected without worry, that higher rating matters. Some A35 users do report mixed feedback on screen scratch resistance over time, which is worth keeping in mind. Edge, Galaxy A35 on water and dust protection. Both phones support 5G for fast network speeds on compatible carriers. The A35 uses Bluetooth 5.3, which is a current and capable standard for wireless accessories. The A17 also supports Bluetooth, though at an earlier specification. Both phones are built for reliable daily connectivity. One important note on the A35. This comparison features a renewed model, and some buyers have reported receiving units that were not as fully unlocked as advertised, along with occasional connectivity inconsistencies. If you purchase the A35, buying from a verified seller and confirming carrier compatibility in advance is worth the extra step. The A17 is sold new and unlocked for all carriers without those concerns. Edge, A17 on purchase reliability. A35 on Bluetooth standard. The A17's 6-year software update commitment is not just a spec to list. It is a genuine long-term value proposition. If you are buying a phone for a family member who tends to keep devices for 5 or 6 years, the A17 will stay secure and functional longer than almost anything else at this price point. That kind of forward-looking support is rare and worth acknowledging. Because this A35 listing is a renewed model, there is real variability in what you receive. Some customers have flagged that units were not fully unlocked as advertised. Renewed products can be excellent value, but they require more due diligence, verifying the seller, confirming unlock status, and checking return policies before purchasing. The Samsung Galaxy A35 5G wins this comparison, and the decision comes down to where these phones actually differ in daily use. The A35 delivers a smoother 120Hz display, a faster and more capable processor with 6 GB of RAM, a 50-megapixel camera that handles real-world shooting conditions better, and an IP67 water resistance rating that simply offers more protection. At $200, the same price as the A17, the A35 gives you more phone for the money in the categories that affect how the phone feels to use every single day. The A17 is not the wrong choice for everyone. If you want a brand new, sealed-in-box phone with guaranteed carrier compatibility and a 6-year software support window, the A17 delivers that with confidence. The longer update commitment is a real advantage for certain buyers, and the Gorilla Glass Victus construction is genuinely strong. But if you are choosing between these two phones today and you want the one that performs better, shoots better photos, protects against water damage, and runs more smoothly right out of the gate, the Galaxy A35 5G is the phone to get. Both phones are linked in the description below. Go see current pricing before you buy. Deals can shift and that can change the math. If you want to make sure you always knowing exactly what you are getting, hit that subscribe button. This channel is built to protect your next purchase, not just review your last one. The A35 is the winner. You have got your answer. Now go get the right phone for you.